Welcome to Chubby Boy Magic!
Are you getting it now?
No, I'm not getting the music at all. So if I just keep doing the entire show.
Hello. All right. Now, I assume there's no music now?
No, it's still going.
Is it?
Yeah.
Still?
Yes.
What?
No, it's not.
Okay. I was like, I can't hear it. All right. Thanks, Spanky. On this episode, we have a nice guest. You were suggested by our buddy Cal, longtime listener, first-time caller recently for the epised, but
Yeah.
he said you had a pretty good story. He said you're a pretty good guy. He said one of the nicest guys.
Side note, Cal has an amazing wiener.
He does.
His name is Winston.
He does have an amazing wiener. Every time I see that dog, too, I'm always like, come here, I'm going to pick you up.
He is the did you see the pictures where he got him the big gold chain? He's
Yeah.
all gangster now.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
if dogs could have a grill.
Oh, he would. Him and Blake Bell would be walking around with his, like, Winston at OFR, like, he'd, like, be in his little cage, and he was right next to my tent. And I'd, like, walk over there with Winston and be like, and I'm like, pick him up. I'm like, I know, buddy. It's okay. Your dad's coming back in a little bit, but I'm here now. And then Dirty would just go pick him up. I'm like, everybody holds Cal's wiener a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Gets passed around.
It does.
You
It
know
does.
what? And that's what we've heard. Okay. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Who the hell are you, and why the hell are you here?
Yeah, my name's Erik Macke. I own Macke Leatherworks, full-time leathersmith, and
Sweet.
yeah, father of 4.
Damn.
Good God.
Yeah, just
You
had-
brought one.
Yeah, I brought one.
Yeah.
Can you pull out of your driveway?
Yeah,
Your poor wife.
yeah, yeah. It keeps us busy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's fun though. We just had our 4th child in March.
Damn.
So I got 2 girls and now 2 boys. Had our
Yeah.
second
Man.
boy. So
So how
Congratulations.
old's your oldest?
my oldest is 7.
Oh God
Oh,
damn.
wow.
So yeah, they're like little. They're still in a lot of work stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or she's 8. Sorry, she turns 9 in February.
Okay.
And then Waylon, the one you guys met today, he's 6.
Yeah.
He'll be 7 in October.
So your wife was like, you're going to do what? And
Yeah.
You're going to not be here for how long?
Yeah.
No, he's got one with him, so she's like, I don't care.
Yeah. As long as it's one less than normal. Yeah, it's that was the cover. You're like, well, I got to take him to the camp thing. And then after that, I got to go do this podcast thing.
Yeah.
Did you tell her it's a 2-hour-long podcast?
No. Nah.
No.
She'll be good with it. The newborn, he's the most work, but they're
that's
starting to
kinda-
get self-sufficient. I'm starting to get some return on my investment out of
Yeah.
them. They're starting to be able to
Yeah.
hold their own, and
They're like mowing for you and stuff.
yeah.
It's
Painting
like
the house.
you are tall enough to operate this lawnmower.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just
That-
don't stick your hand in that hole.
Yeah, don't do that and don't do this. Yeah. And don't flip it over and run towards it. My dad's house when I was growing up has this big like side hill, and I used to mow it and like flip the lawnmower over one time, and I was just freaking out because like, oh shit, what do I do? And I like ran towards it as it's like upside down, still turning. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure this is how Johnny Cash lost a brother, so I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, so I was like, nah. And then my dad's like, why is it all dented? I don't know, man. Shit happens.
Yep.
We live in the hood, man. I had to fight somebody for it.
I used to mow with my dad's riding lawnmower until I got the bright idea I was going to build my own plane. and I took the riding lawnmower apart because, I mean, if you turn that on its side, it's a plane engine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's solid logic. It's just
Yeah,
flawed because
yeah.
you were like, what, 9?
Yeah. After that, it was like
No.
push mower. Yeah.
You got one of those old...
don't ever touch my shit again.
Yeah.
Here's the trimmers that look like scissors. You know
Yeah.
where you like. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you got some hedge trimmers out there. You're just like, how do I keep it level? Fuck.
Yeah.
The shit. Okay, so how long have you been doing leather work?
About going on 9 years.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was not your first career, right? I've been
No.
told that you did some other shit.
Yeah, so I was overhead power lineman
Okay.
prior to that, and then I had a bad motorcycle accident in 2015, and that's
Did you whip
what-
when you should have nay-nayed?
Yeah,
Oh,
big
okay.
time. And that ended my career as a lineman, and it's what got me started into leatherwork. So.
Yeah.
And I didn't get into leatherwork as a career or job. I just kind of I was in a wheelchair. So in 2015, my accident, I had a spinal cord injury, a left leg amputation, as you can see.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
saw the hardware.
Yeah.
I was like,
So-
whose ass did you kick real hard?
Yeah.
You should see the other guy.
You got a magic leg, Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, man. So,
Does it ever go to sleep?
yeah.
You're
No,
like-
it's not bad, actually. It's got I only have to trim 5 toenails. That's cool. And then don't have to
Bright side.
don't have to pair my socks,
Yeah.
Just throw them all
I'd be
in
pissed though that you still got to pay full price for
shoes.
shoes. you
Well,
know?
the cool thing is I get on eBay and I will
you
like,
sell the other one to.
well, no, I'll buy people. They'll have like their dog shoe up one,
Oh,
Right.
and they'll
that's smart.
sell the other one. So the Yeezy's the only shoe I wear. Really, it's like
Okay.
the most comfortable. I love them. So
All right.
right.
I just get on there like once a week and try to find 10 and a half or 11 Yeezys. I'll get them. I get them for like 30, 40 bucks.
You're
man.
like, hey man, you
Yeah.
think you're paying full price for this shit?
Yo, yeah, because they're like $300 for a pair.
Yeah,
and
no
I-
shit.
Yeah,
I'll just score
yeah.
one for like 30, 40 bucks.
You
and
just gotta find someone that has a right leg amputation.
I know,
and
man.
you just switch it out.
it's Slim Pickens.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out who it is.
Uh-huh.
Dude.
Yeah.
So the first office I was at when I was working engineering, we had this place called Lens for Life that released a smaller space from us.
Yeah, no, I know
Yeah.
Limbs
Okay.
for Life.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was gonna say
He's like
familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were really nice and cool and like, but it was wild because we didn't know they didn't have all their branding up for like the first couple months they were in there. We just knew that there was someone in there. And I would go out and smoke in the alleyway, and they were using the dumpster, like general office bullshit. And one day, I worked in Bricktown, so this totally wasn't out of the realm of things to see. Where you're like,
Yeah.
is that a fucking foot?
Yeah.
And like it's just sticking out of the dumpster, and I'm like,
You're like, I want a foot.
no, I thought it was real because it was so early in the morning. I was like, oh shit, man.
Yeah. See, I would have been like, I want a foot.
No.
Yeah. The thing, they try to make them look like they'll make certain prosthetics try to look like real legs too. Like
Yeah.
some people want it to look like they'll put like tattoo like leg
Uh-huh.
hair and all that.
Right.
But when I got mine, I was like, I want it to look like a Terminator robot. Like
Yeah.
I don't want it to look anything.
Right,
Like,
right.
I've lost this, and
Yeah.
I want people to know.
I want it robotic looking as it can be.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
want.
surprised you don't have like LEDs up on
Right?
it.
Yeah, it's got like a little laser pointer on it. He's like, I've guided myself where
I
I'm
will
going.
have to
for
say
sure.
that is a pretty impressive leg.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's they've came a long way. Haven't always been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, was your first
They're-
one a little rough? Where you're like, what the hell is this?
No, it wasn't terrible, but like the '90s
Yeah.
models and stuff.
Right,
they were,
right.
Yeah, they've and then hopefully it'll just be like completely bionic in like 20 years. Where
I mean,
where I just want to cut the other one off and get another one.
Yeah.
you're like, I'm getting robot legs. I'm working on my robot ears soon.
yeah,
Yeah, grandma's boy. Yeah. Do you want to talk about the accident? Can we ask you questions?
yeah. Anything, man.
Okay.
Yeah, anything.
So what happened in the first place? So you've been riding motorcycles for a while.
yeah,
you still
I-
ride now.
since high school. Yeah, I got my first bike 16.
Okay.
So
What was your first
my
bike?
dad, I grew up all around it. My dad rode his whole life, and then I got into it. My first one was Kawasaki Ninja, actually.
My
600,
man.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, a 600?
Or a yeah. Or
Damn.
I think. Yeah, I think so. It's
was like-
600.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
was like-
600 and then
Yeah.
1,000, right?
Yeah, it's 250,
Yeah.
600.
Yeah, it was
and
600
Yeah,
then,
I was
yeah.
like, damn, for a 16-year-old, you're like, I'm getting at it.
Yeah.
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 That's what I
So-
was like. Man,
Go,
my
big,
dad wasn't
go
that-
big or go home.
Yeah, my dad was not that cool.
Yeah, it was all blacked out. It was pretty sweet. And then I fell in love with the choppers. And,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I got my first Harley when I was 18,
Okay.
a senior in high school.
What was your first Harley?
It was 2012 Sportster 1200.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay, you didn't go the 883 route.
Nah.
You were like, nah.
I couldn't do that.
He's like, I'm a man.
Yeah.
You guess who has an 883? No, I'm kidding. Spanky's like,
No,
no, mine's 1200.
1200.
Yes.
So you've been riding for a while, and then how old were you whenever you had your accident?
21.
Okay, so you had not. So you were a lineman for a while.
Yeah.
Did you learn that in like as a VOTEC thing in high school, or?
No, I did residential electricity in high school at VOTEC, and then I wanted to be a lineman since like middle school.
Just want to be a pole worker. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. Just climbing poles.
Yeah.
He's like, they pull all the pussy.
I was waiting to make that joke. I've been waiting for since I knew you were coming on. I was like, I'm gonna get it in.
Had that one.
Grandma's on the back porch. Get it on and I'll get it on.
She's like, it's been awfully hot.
So yeah, I was doing that and went to OSU OKC for I did 2 years there at the college for their lineman program, and then got on with the company and was doing that. And whenever I had my accident, I've planned on doing that my whole life, but one thing led to another, and got into leather work. And because my accident, I was paralyzed because I had a spinal cord injury. So
yeah, did you hit a car or
no? I worked hard and I played hard, you know. So
I fell and broke my nose in the parking lot of Cats at T-Bar not too long ago. Don't feel like you're gonna get any judgment.
yeah.
It was a rough night for a bunch of us that night.
Yeah, so this is when bike night was at Hooters. And that was like, you know, we had a big group. We always would roll around. And that night we started at Hooters, and then we bounced around downtown a little bit, and then ended up at Tumbleweed.
Oh. Okay.
And then closed it down. So I was heading home.
Yeah.
Had to wake up for work. I was gonna get up for work. I'd never miss work, so I had, you know, I need to get like four hours of sleep. Yeah,
I'd have to be like, I'm awake in the truck, and you're like, all right, yeah.
Had been drinking Crown Apple and Sprite all night. And
oh shit.
Yeah, I was tore up, man, and was ripping home way too fast and hit a center median doing 90.
Oh shit.
Damn. And hit it, went flying in the air, landed in the middle of the road. Bike was bursting into flames, was on fire, and I was on like a back road, and an off-duty cop. I was laying there I called my wife while I was laying there. Like, no one was on that road.
Yeah.
It was late at night, and so I was just laying there for a second, like, my lower body was like, felt like it was on fire. It was like burning from the spinal cord injury, and all I could do was move my arms. I couldn't even pick my head up, so I got my phone out and called my wife, told her I messed our life up. She needs to come pick me up. And
did you at that point you had no idea how bad it was, did you?
No. I knew I was really fucked up, but I didn't know exactly you're like, the extent of it.
Yeah, you're like,
I didn't know my leg was like ripped off of my body.
Oh shit!
I couldn't
Wait,
see.
what?
Yeah, I mean, it was like there was the bone was snapped down by my ankle, and then at the knee just completely broken, and everything was. I mean, it was like hanging off of my body. They didn't even have to really like do anything to get the rest of it off.
Wow!
Once I got to the hospital,
that's fucking gnarly, dude.
Yeah, and. So I told her she needed to come pick me up. She's like, "Where are you at?" And my phone died before I could tell her. So she just got in the car and started driving like towards where she knew I was.
Yeah.
And off-duty cop saw my bike burning and stopped. And
he was like, "What in the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
And then he walks up. And he's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Because I was asking like, "How bad is it?" He's like, "It's not good, but you're gonna be all right." You know, I was like,
I love the confident.
Yeah.
You will be all right.
Yeah.
But it's not great.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I never lost consciousness, but I was
Do
like,
you at any point wish like, God, it hurts so much, I wish I'd just fallen asleep for a little
well,
bit?
like my body was kind of like I was starting to feel relaxed and like fading off.
Yeah.
And he'd be like,
Yeah,
no,
you were
wake up.
That was
Yeah,
shock.
he was.
Yeah.
I was glad he was there because he was like keeping me up and like making sure that didn't happen. So
Yeah, that's wild.
yeah, and then ambulance got there. My wife got to me when she saw was on the highway and like saw the ambulance on the side road and got over there to me like when they're loading me up. So that was pretty crazy. But
Yeah, she's probably like, no motorcycles again.
yeah, no, yeah,
Just
nah, she
yelling
knows
like,
better.
"Fuck!"
She
Yeah.
knows better.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows I'm gonna do what I want to do. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, I'm good, babe. It's not as bad
Like
as
you do, like,
it's
the
not as
thumbs
bad
up.
as it looks.
She's like, there's another part of you over there, man. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So it's I mean, the leg amputation, it was a bad part of it, but the spinal cord injury was like a whole nother challenge because like the neurological side of it and everything. So they got me into surgery, did a
back fusion.
Yeah, fused my back. And
so are you shorter now?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. My dad's shorter after his, so.
I think it actually keeps my posture pretty nice. Like, got a steel rod in my back. And just
Okay. The article I read was about you from Integris, and then multiple times ago, he always finds the bright side. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I guess, man. But yeah, dude, my posture's real good.
Yep, great posture. So yeah, it's like they said like never walk again. And
did you go bullshit, or like were you just like kind of?
Yeah, no, I was like, I will walk again.
It may hurt like a motherfucker.
So, yeah,
but
yeah. So we got to work after that. Went to rehab for a month at Jim Thorpe and started rehabilitating and just getting after it. I was in a wheelchair. I didn't get a prosthetic for like a year and a half because there was no need. Because I mean, I couldn't even move a toe or any of my foot. Like,
wow,
it was like 6 months before I could even like twitch.
Oh shit,
my foot at all. Yeah, I was like completely.
So you had all upper.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Could you feel your cock?
No.
Damn, that's rough.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Of
no,
course.
I didn't get my. Yeah,
I've always wondered.
No, they said I would never have kids or walk again. I was like, I don't care about walking, but we gotta get this dick working. So
you're like, look, man, I'm gonna need some help around the house because I can't fucking mow right now.
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
Jesus, take me now.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
You're like, wait,
I want the hottest nurses.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Take me to the Red Dog.
That was part of my rehabilitation was
Yeah.
getting that thing pumped back up. So
You use it. See, I'd still be using it. I'd be like, I'm going to the Red Dog rehab.
Yeah. Make sure. Your wife's like, okay, whatever. Like you're here every day and it's a gift, but like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, man. So it was. I started getting like feeling and
What was the
like-
first part that you got feeling back in?
it was like upper thigh. Like it's worked its way down. So like yeah, like my cock and and then like upper thigh and then it started moving down to like calf and then eventually the foot.
Okay.
How long did it take
So
from like when you started getting feeling back to when you? I mean, was it like weeks or months?
No,
or?
it was months. I started getting feeling back like 6 months. It was about half a year, and then like movement about same time, and then to where I got like enough strength to where I could like even stand up was about probably about a year, and like using a walker just to stand up.
Yeah.
But like, man, just like twitching my foot and like barely having. I mean, it was like I got videos. It was like nothing, like barely any move. But it was like the.
I mean, that's
like
huge
a
day.
milestone.
Right,
It was,
right.
It was amazing. Yeah, like it didn't look like much, and it wasn't much, but it was a start.
It was something.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was something. So,
And you're like looking at the doctor that said you'll never do that, and you're like, hey, fucking told you.
I went and saw him, man, like a couple
With
years
the 4
after.
kids, and
Yeah,
you're like, hey,
yeah,
by the
straight
way,
up.
you're
You're
like,
like,
my
fuck
cock works.
Yep.
You.
Yeah, man.
He was
So-
like,
And this is my kid.
yeah. He's like, I always believed. I'm just a realist, man.
Yeah, man. So he actually called my wife. Like he was doing like his 10-year like presentation to like I guess like all of his superiors or whoever, and he had to pick like one of his cases, and he actually used mine. Because I mean my X-rays I can show you guys later. It's wild looking, man. My spine was just like destroyed, and
I think in doctor's terms, not fucking good.
it was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was an Indian guy and like super dry, but like an incredible surgeon.
Right,
Yeah.
right. No bedside manner.
No, he was just like he will never walk again. Like he's like, and then my wife was like, wait, so like does he have any chance? And he was like, no. Like he was so just like dry and blunt about it. But I mean, that's what they do, and they see this all the time. So
He was like, in my country, no walk.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit. And he's like, also hit by train.
You know, part of that is like they do it on purpose because if they tell you you'll never walk again and you walk,
Yeah.
then you're like, it's a miracle. And if they tell you, oh yeah, you'll walk again, and you're like,
It don't work no well.
I don't, and then you told me that.
Yeah.
You know, why would you tell me that?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times they do that on.
Yeah, they're just realists. They
Yeah.
and you know they are taught to go by this, you know, the science and the medical
Right.
side of it. And then I believe in God, there's a higher power, and I think that, you know, there can be incredibly powerful things done. The mind, with the mind and the power of God, then you can do things that science can't explain, and medicine, you know, can't help.
Doesn't believe it's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So
the power of it behind it. You know?
Yeah, belief and your mind can make you or break you. So
the power of getting laid. There's a lot of power in that.
He just talked about a higher power. You're like, but getting your dick wet's pretty important.
No, it's a big driving.
Hey, God gave us that.
It could be a big, it's a big driving factor for sure. And
God damn it. So
and my wife, we had just gotten married too, like 6 months prior to the wreck, and she was pregnant with our first kid. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, so it was like a lot going on at once.
Wow.
Yeah.
And to add that on top of it was something else. And then
so did you?
So you and your daughter learned to walk again at the same time.
Quite literally.
Yeah,
it was a race
to the punch.
It was a race to see who could walk first. Yeah.
Who walked? Who was the first? Who was first?
I think she did.
Who came out of diapers first?
Yeah, actually, that was the cool thing. Was I like,
where in the fuck is this going?
Yeah, me and my wife got real close during this time. So I had control of my bowels like within a month, because I was like shitting myself for like a month. Like it was brutal. Me and the nurses were like locked in, man. They were like super cool and took literally like care of me.
It does not matter how cool they are. It's still.
He shit himself.
Oh, it was wild. Yeah, it's like, so my bowels though, I got control like pretty quickly, but I had to cath for like a year. But now I don't have to like everything came back, thank God. So it was humbling.
Yeah, there's nothing like being, because you were 21 at the time.
I was 21, man. I was like incredible shape. Like everything was. You know,
you're 21.
6 foot tall, bulletproof. Nothing could stop me. You know,
except for that fucking center median.
That's center median.
Hey, center medians get you.
That's the Clibbins. Yeah.
So
I mean, and one thing, when you're young, you two youngsters don't think about like.
Oh yeah, he's 40,000 years old.
Who's gonna wipe your ass when you can't do it? Like, you
got
to think about that.
Or Broomhilda. There's no in between.
That's not real.
Yeah.
You don't have enough money for that.
I know.
And maybe once.
I go to Red Dog. I'm like, I need you to wipe my ass one time. I have $1,000 for this. And she's like, one wipe.
And the one that's like, all right, you don't want that. Yeah. You don't want that smoke.
Yeah. She's like, ooh, tell me less.
Yeah.
So you go through. So how long were you in the hospital for during all that?
I was in ICU for a week, and then transferred to out of ICU for like 2 weeks, and then into rehab at Jim Thorpe for
4 months or
4 weeks.
So you really weren't in the hospital for a super long time.
Mm-mm.
And then how long did it? So overall, because now you're walking, you're getting around, your ass kicking with your prosthetic limb and all that stuff. When you walked in, I was like, damn, I don't want to get in a fight with that motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's like, let me pull it off real fast. So how long would you say it took pretty much from the wreck to almost, would you say you're fully recovered now? I mean, minus the leg part, but.
I'm not where I still want to, I'm always trying to improve on strength and balance and everything, and like pushing myself to get stronger and just better and keep up with my kids, man. They're beasts. So it's
you have 4
I gotta
of
stay
them.
sharp with them, man. He's my son. He's a wrestler, and he's 6 right now. I'm like, man, all right, I gotta stay sharp. He's getting pretty tough.
There's a guy I follow on Instagram that he lost his leg. He was in the army. Derek Waida.
Oh, I love him. Yeah.
Dude.
Love that dude.
it's insane.
Yeah.
You know, and how he dove in and like actually, you know, with one leg is CrossFit and like keeps himself fit and like doing challenges and doing things like putting people to shame that have, you know,
all their limbs.
all their limbs. And then he's like, it's not just that, because he'll like, let me gain 50 pounds and then show you that I can still do it and like lose the weight. And
He's a
I
beast.
followed him for years.
Yep. Yeah, I found his page pretty early into my injury, and he was very inspiring.
Yeah.
Now,
He's making the jokes about leg day. And people be at the gym like, oh, leg day killed me. And he's like, really?
really? I don't want to fucking hear it. What did you lose for your country?
Yep.
Yeah. So like, do you ever get phantom leg pains and stuff?
Yeah, man.
So what's that like?
It's terrible.
Okay, I had a janitor when I was in elementary school, Mr. David, and he lost his leg in a motorcycle accident. So he was always talking about like phantom leg shit. He was weird. He'd be like, my ghost leg. And we're like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah, mine. So it's like mine doesn't necessarily feel like there's a foot there, like the leg's there anymore, but it's just like this electric like pain in my nub.
Okay.
And it's it just shoots through, man. Like it is the worst pain I've ever felt in my life.
Really?
That's definitely the worst part about the whole. I mean, other than like, you know, the certain things are more difficult or this and that. But
right.
But I can get past that quick. But the pain, it's the worst pain.
Did you get it fairly frequently, or
it depends on certain things. So if I work out, it depends. Like if I like hit a hard workout and really like destroy myself in the gym, then
a lot of quad work.
It'll come back. Yeah. Like or like the way if I like alcohol will fire it up. Anything that inflames my body will.
Oh, so we should give you more beer today.
Yeah, exactly. So
I offered water.
It's like just it depends on. Sometimes the weather will affect it, but it's gotten better over time, but yeah, it can be I've had some late nights where I'm just like,
this is awful.
And, excruciating, but it goes away eventually.
Yeah. Now how old are you now?
I'm 30.
Okay, so you're 9 years out of this. You're 9 years removed.
Yep.
So what? So you have a motorcycle now, from what Cal said, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I still ride.
Yeah. So what do you ride now?
So I have the bike I wrecked was a Dyna.
Okay.
I had big plans for that one. I hadn't had it that long. I took a train down to Texas. And
did you take the Heartland Flyer down there?
What's that?
The Heartland Flyer from downtown?
It's the only train.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the only
I was like, maybe he fucking was like a hobo and jumped on a train, man. I don't know. Fuck.
Yeah, I hoboed down there, bought the Dyna.
See?
Took a hammock with me, camped out in the woods that night, and then made it back. And my Sportster
hammock.
I was used to 5 gears, man, and the Dyna had the 6. So I made it back.
Dude,
from
it makes a
Texas.
huge difference.
Yeah, I was by myself, so I was ripping back and made it back in like. It was quick. It was very fast. It was fun.
You're like, this is the shit.
Yeah, man.
So I have a 99 1200,
okay.
and then I also have a Softail, so it's like that 6th gear. You're like, when I'm on my Sportster, a lot of times I'm sitting there like, where is it?
Yeah.
So I have my Yamaha FJ09, which I've had for a while. I've got like 17,000 miles on that thing, and then I've got a KZP old police bike I bought, and it's to directly contribute or compete with the FXRPs from back in the day. And I keep going for a 6th gear all the time on that damn thing.
Yeah.
Like, you'll watch me, I'll be like, where is the fucking gear? And I get a light that says you're in 5th because I'll forget. I don't count. So, yeah, having a 6th gear is a game changer.
So when you started in the leathersmithing.
I forgot you love leather work. He likes leather.
Yeah. I'll answer the question about what I ride now. So the bike that Dyna burned up, and then I still had I have my Sportster, the one I bought.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
My first Harley. So I converted that to I put a trike kit on that, but it's like bobber style trike, like no fenders. It's super raw. The guy that did it, he's in Missouri. It's like this own kit he designed. It's he just put 2 Sportster tires on the back.
Okay.
And then just like a little rack, but it's super cool, super raw, and just kind of kept that like bobber chopper look. And then I obviously can't shift with the left foot anymore. So,
so do you have a jockey shift?
Yeah,
on it?
I do. Suicide.
Fuck,
It's
yeah.
a suicide shifter with a hand clutch.
Dude, you're
So
a bad
nice.
it's
motherfucker.
like I'm just ripping
Oh,
through.
yeah.
The hand clutch is fun. It's
Yeah.
a good time, man. It's a fun.
So you have a
ride.
hand clutch on your right, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
On
it's
the
on,
left.
It's on the
it's
left.
on the handle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the handle.
Okay.
Yeah. So the lever just comes right up, and you're just ripping.
You're just banging through.
It's
the
So
gear.
did he design that, or was that
No,
there?
I put the suicide shifter with a hand clutch on. It was a kit that came. He just did all the rear end work, and then put that on. Put some apes on it because it had like Z bars on it before.
Yeah.
Right.
I hardtailed it before I got this kit on.
Yeah, that metal rod in your back's gotta love that.
Nah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I when it was hardtailed, I rode it to Sturgis.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, because you used to ride all around the country.
Yeah,
too.
all around the country. And since my injury and since I got the kit and all that put on, I rode to California like probably it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I went to Born Free.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out there.
Okay. Yeah.
So we ripped out there, and that was my first like real long ride since my
Yeah.
accident. But yeah, man, we camped out the whole way and did the whole thing. So it was a good time.
Yeah.
Handled it just fine. So
Well, that's good. I was wondering,
Yeah.
like, if you do you get does it cut down on like because like some guys will be like I can ride like 2 hours straight and I need to get off the bike for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, do you about like an hour, 2 hours, or does it matter at all?
by
now?
the time I'm needing gas, I'm ready to get the fuck off. So.
Yeah.
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 I'm glad it's not a bigger tank.
Yeah, you're like, fuck. yeah. Like my FJ has like a 6-gallon tank, and I'm like all the time, like, I don't want to make it 6 gallons. This
Nah,
fucker.
man.
It will go for a while.
Yeah, we did the first day. We did like over 600 miles,
Oof.
Yeah.
like sun
Yeah,
up to sundown, and then we and it was in like July, I believe. So it was like record-breaking temps out in like out
Yeah.
that way in the desert and stuff. It was
Right.
Like it was like
130 and
Yeah.
It
Death
was-
Valley was like 134.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was crazy. Yeah, like through needles and stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, why did I choose this?
Man, it was every like 45 minutes we were getting off, pouring water on our head. We
Yeah.
had long sleeves on though, like white long sleeves, and I wear a Simpson
Yeah.
Bandit, and it was an experience, man. It's a good time though. You know how it is. It's,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
even the destination, man. It's a journey.
It's the
Oh, yeah.
journey. Yeah.
It
it's
is.
It's how many times the Harleys that are really along with you will break down on
Yeah.
that trip.
Yeah.
Well, we were coming back from Fast Life this past
May?
May, and
Sure. That sounds right.
yeah, like the whole way home, like 200 miles in the rain,
Yeah, the way
Just
the way down there was
right-
real nice, but everybody kept breaking down, and on the way back it was pouring rain like
and
this
everybody
morning.
kept breaking down.
And then
And-
our buddy Mitch, we got kind of split into two groups at one point. And our buddy Mitch was leading on his newer road glide, and I'm like, dude, he's doing like 95, 100 miles an hour in this fucking rain, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I guess the good thing is if I eat shit, like trip's over, like it's over. And then he pulls over and he goes, yeah, man, I'm real sorry about how fast I was probably going. I don't know how fast I was going because his gauge cluster died.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah.
how fast was it going? I was like, dude, 95. I was like, this sucks. So, yeah,
man.
it was definitely the journey. And then they all fought with their meat sticks outside of a little gas station in Ada, the corn dogs.
Corn dogs, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pull up at the gas station. They're like, it's raining. No. Really?
No shit, really? As we walk in
I
wearing
had
trash
no
bags and shit.
clue. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, but so how many trips have you? So you rode out to Borden Free, but you've also ridden across the country quite a bit.
Yeah, I've taken fair share of trips to done Arkansas a bunch, obviously. I don't know if y'all have Eureka Springs area.
I have not been, but
Yeah.
yeah,
That's cool.
it's
Yeah,
on my
I've
list.
been.
Yeah.
That's a good
Pig
close,
Trail's
closer
fun.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've done that a bunch, and then a bunch of stuff in Texas, Sturgis.
How was Sturgis?
It was great. Yeah.
I mean, what year did you go?
I was this was before the accident. I was 18, so
Oh wow,
yeah. it
you were
was
partying.
2012. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
tore it up. Yeah. It was a good time.
we tore it. Yeah.
It
Who
was
all
great.
went with you?
It was my buddy Sean Summers, and then my dad and some of his buddies, and
So you're looking outside of the bar as they're in there drinking, like, hey. And you're
yeah,
like,
we have fake IDs. So.
Like, good man.
I like lost my key and like had to hotwire my bike, and like it was fun, man. We had a good time.
Yeah.
and
That's
that was
awesome.
before what was that that big bar that burned down out there.
Not Buffalo Chip, but what was it?
No, it was Buffalo Chip.
Was Buffalo
Yeah.
Chip the one that burned down?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was. We went there before it burned down, so yeah, it was a really cool. It was a wild place. Nothing like I've ever been to. It was cool, man. But saw Leonard Skinner play.
That would be pretty fucking
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Although I think
There's lots of good riding up there.
Yeah.
I've been, but I haven't been during the rally. So I was
you
been.
It's yeah, man. I've never seen so many bikes in my life. It was really cool.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go, and then like every time I think about going up there, I'm like, I don't really want to go during the rally because it's gonna be fucking crazy town.
I mean, you
Yeah.
gotta go once during.
I know. I need to buy a Harley so then I can go to the rally and then do the whole thing. And I don't own a Harley. I refuse to buy one because I'm this.
Really?
Guy. Yeah. I'm like, I did. Everyone's like, oh, you should buy this. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
So because now I'm like, I'm just gonna be the anti. So
I got you. Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep buying all the metric bullshit. They're like, fucking why? So yeah. So then you have your accident. You get out of that. So then, did you have some downtime where you were kind of like trying to figure out what to do, or did you?
A little bit, yeah. I didn't really know what I was gonna do yet. And then I was just one night, I was laid on the couch, man. They had me taking like 3 morphine pills a day.
Oh, you were toasty.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was toasted up, and I was laying there one night and just was like, I had a custom leather belt on when I wrecked, and
Okay.
they cut it off and they cut my pants off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this guy in New Mexico that was doing my leather work at the time, and I had a really cool belt made by him, and they cut it off. So I was laying on the couch like, man, I could probably make myself a new belt. And then I just got online and bought like $150 leather
Yeah.
kit, started tools and everything, and started making like keychains. I made my wife like keychains. She posted it, and like 10 people were like, hey, can you make me one? So I like, cool, got 10 orders, like, and then
And it's a spiral from there. That's what
it was, man. It was like so.
That's what he started doing. So
Yeah.
when
Cool, man.
when I first met
That's
Spanky,
awesome.
he was like, he had
Yeah,
this badass keychain thing.
Do you do the beadwork?
yeah,
Awesome.
He's
man.
Native
Yeah.
American. Yeah.
yeah.
Very cool.
I
love beadwork.
just started like fucking around with it, and it was like same thing. It was like,
Less accident, more just boredom.
yeah. It was like I wanted to make a dog collar, and
Yeah.
for my dog, and so I like the leather ones are like goddamn, I'm not paying $100, and I like, that's the cheap part of me, and so then it's like it can't be that hard, and
yeah.
so then you start fucking around, and like now it's like I'll make some nice sheaths, and
Cool, man.
the tooling is I can't wrap my head around that, but like I've watched the videos of people doing it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I've got some stamps where I'll do a couple little stamps, but the
Mm.
tooling, like there's an art to that, and
Yeah, man. It's just like with that, it's like just time put into it.
right.
Because I'll go on vacation if I'll be gone out of the shop for like a week and a half or 2 weeks if I ever am. When I get back in, like I gotta warm up, man. Like it's like
Right,
do you
Because
right.
I do it every day. So
Okay.
it's like all day, every day. I mean,
And I do a lot of like roll straps, where it's like blanket
Yep.
roll straps,
Mhm.
and then like I was just doing making tool rolls,
Yep.
and out of denim jeans, actually using a leg off of them and make a tool roll, and then would put straps around it so you can have it in side case.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, the first time I met him, he had all this cool leather stuff, and I was like, man, he's a man of many talents.
Yeah.
And then the next time I see him, he like goes, here, I got you this, and I made this for you. I'm like, okay, and it's this cool ass leather, or not leather, but tool roll that's like got my initials on it and all that stuff. And I was like, the
Yeah.
hell do you do?
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, I wish I was better at it. And I'm like, I never had any like nice leather stuff. And I was like, I saw your stuff. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, you're good, Spanky.
No,
Don't get me wrong. But then I was like, then there's the artist.
I'm at like the entry level, enough
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I can do some stuff like, and that's my thing is I like to do things with my hands, and it keeps me busy. So if I see something I like and get interested in it, I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, man. Adding the beadwork to it, like I love beadwork, and
Well,
it
and that's the
just
thing.
makes it pop, makes it so much more unique.
I've never seen any
I haven't either. Yeah.
like that with
I
the
love
beadwork.
that. Mhm.
And so I learned to bead years ago.
From an
Like I said,
old shaman woman.
I'm Chickasaw, and so they used to put
Nice.
on like beading classes, like teach the traditional beadways.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh, I'll do that. And then I still do some. And then my wife got into it, and she's like, all like crazy about it. She'll be up, start doing it at night while she's watching TV. And then, I'm like, what time did you come to bed? And she's like 4. And I'm like, Jesus
like,
Christ.
I was making all the bead shit, man.
Yeah.
Man.
So what was so you started out with keychains, and then so that like so how far in, like, when did you start really feeling like that was going to be what you're going to do? Like a keychain number 11.
Yeah.
You're like,
it's like
get my Etsy store set up right now.
Yeah, it's like keychains and then belts and wallets and it wasn't really a moment. It just kind of took off. It was like one thing led to another, and then once it started, I made a Instagram page and Facebook, and my following started growing, and it was like, man, just kind of, I was like, I want to do this. I loved it, and I was like, I think I can make good money doing it. And
there's a guy I follow. I think he's from Oklahoma, Gertie Leather or something. I think he's
like my biggest competition, you asshole.
Yeah. But no, I mean, like I said, there's an art to it, and like it's cool. Like looking at your stuff, you got some really cool stuff.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I love it. And the cool thing is, like, there's so many different things you can do with leather. It's such a good resource.
Right.
Yeah, when we get done, we're gonna talk, because I'm gonna get some gloves from you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's actually so Cal was talking about the gloves.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'm getting some custom gloves made. And I was like, this bougie ass motherfucker. And he's like, actually, no, it's my buddy.
Yeah.
And I was like, because we all have a buddy.
He started talking about the pair of gloves that he had that he's like, I love. They don't make them anymore, and he's like, he's gonna take them apart and like make a pattern and make me a pair.
Yep.
I was like, no, that's cool. See, that's some shit that I that's actually what gets me into a lot of stuff, because it's like, I want that, and you're like, I can't find it anymore, and it's like,
well, now I gotta make it.
Right.
Now I gotta make it.
Have you made leather shoes?
No, I haven't done boots or shoes.
Okay.
I've done like little moccasins,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But the gloves, man, I've really enjoyed.
I like your gloves.
Thank you,
Yeah.
man. I've like it was way more difficult than I thought it was gonna be. It's almost like a boot. Like the fitting of a glove is so.
See, that's
even the way you build it and like stitch it together is way more in depth than you would think, and there's like weird folds and weird cuts in certain places.
Yeah. And if you get the seam where it's cutting into you, you're
100
like,
exactly. Yeah, it has to be comfortable but tough, and so I've like worked a long time. It took me longer than I thought to get it dialed in, my patterns and everything. So I'm excited about those. I'm really liking those and putting those together. And I'm selling a bunch of them. People are liking them, and I think it's gonna be a product that's kind of gonna be one that I'm always gonna do the custom side, and the artistic side, but that is gonna be one I'm gonna like more
off the shelf.
Mass produce.
That's your moneymaker.
Exactly.
You know, and the art is like, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, because the gloves I can have some. I got a guy I'm doing a build out in my shop right now, so I'm about to have like 3 times the space that I'm working with now. I got a guy that's going to be helping me out, and that's more something he can do as the glove side, like cutting the patterns and getting them prepped for me to. I'll be doing the sewing and the
now,
stitching.
do you have a stamp that you're cutting your patterns out on?
That's what I'm about. I've been in contact with the dye company in Texas, and I'm about to send them like all my patterns because I've just been critiquing them and going through. I mean, I've messed up like a bunch of pairs.
Oh, no,
when I first started, there's
I
like
get
a pile in the corner of my shop of just like
ones
I
here's
fucked
my
up.
strong hand.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you stitch it all together and build it, you do it inside out.
Yeah,
and then you flip it. And you flip it out like right side, and you're like, my first ones, they were like fucked up. I was like, no,
fuck.
Yeah, so.
I did that with some. I was making some baby moccasins, and I was using rabbit hide.
Yep.
And so there was like fuzzy on the inside. It's like, an UGG.
Yep.
Moccasin,
Uggs.
it's like an UGG, but
it's cool. Like, you're Native American. You do whatever you want.
But getting it all stitched up, and then you flip it inside out, and you're like, oh, it looks. That's all fucked up.
That does not look 100% correct. Thank you. So I started riding a lot in 2020. And I got, like my basic starter gear and all that stuff. I went to Cycle Gear and bought a bunch of shit, and I get on Revzilla. And then I finally, was like, oh, I want nicer gloves. I want a nicer jacket. And I bought some, I think they were Reax gloves or something. I was like, oh, they fit right. I felt so excited about getting them because, like, I got weird hands and stubby fingers and shit, but big-ass palms. And I was like, man, these fit really good. And I was trying to clean them, and I, cleaned them all out, and I ruined them. I ruined them really fucking bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, because the palm kind of fits, but the fingers are about that long. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? Because I followed the instructions of, like, what they said you could do, and I'm like, I'm so upset. And they were like, nice leather gloves.
Yeah.
Not made in Pakistan for this particular model. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So now I have some moon eyes I bought in Japan that will definitely not save my hands, but they fit right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm like, I want a set of leather gloves from you too.
Yeah, man. Like you said, not made in Pakistan. Cause I just think it's important that we get production back in the U.S. and everything used to be made here, man. Like
right.
Whenever everything was quality and.
You don't have shareholders and stakeholders, so that's
the big thing about
that's
it.
the big thing now.
Yeah.
It's not about products. It's not about the people. It's about
the bottom
money
dollar.
and the bottom dollar and
100%.
the stakeholders. And you see it. Everybody bitches about the way the country's going, and it's like, well, I used to work for the newspaper, and they farm out their editing to India, the Oklahoman. And used to have right there, I'll be off Broadway Extension, and they have the press and everything. They sold the press. So now it's printed up in Tulsa, and they truck it down. Their editing, they mail off to India, and then gets emailed back. And it's like, when I started, and 2005, I started the paper, there was 1,300 people. And within 6 years, they had laid off down to 300, and it's just like, it's ridiculous, but
well, and
it is.
That's one of the things that I realize is one of my good friends I first started doing engineering with. He's first generation American, but his parents are from Pakistan. So I met his uncle, and his uncle owns one of the largest textile businesses over there. And he's like, I make everything. I make jeans, I make t-shirts.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I was like, oh, I made a joke, probably a lot of child labor. And he's like, no, that's the only job some of these people have. And he's like, I'm happy to provide that for him, but he's like, I also have taken a lot of business from America, and he's like, just because they farmed it out because no one wanted to do it, they wanted to get a shirt for, instead of $3 a shirt, 75 cents for a unit cost per shirt. And he's like, well, I can make it at 50 cents because all my costs are cheap as shit over here. Yeah. So he was like, but the ironic thing was he was over here buying all his clothes. He was going down to Galleria in Dallas, and he was like, I'm gonna buy all my suits and all that stuff. And he was like, that's what I do. It's like, I don't wear the shit I make. I buy my shit over here. But
I was actually one of the leather, like I said, being in leatherwork, I was or into leatherwork. I was reading an article, and they were talking about some of these bags, like the Birkin bags, and that are $5,000-$6,000 for a bag.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a company that actually took them apart, and it was like the $6,000 Hermes bag had $20 worth of leather, and actually when you figure in everything to make that bag, the cost was about $100. And you're paying for a fucking.
He's like, and you could just pay me $6,000 for that bag. And I could buy dumb shit.
I mean, not even $6,000. You a couple $100, you have a bag that's in better quality that's gonna last. And
and I repair a lot of Louis Vuittons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do a lot of repairs on them, and it's not even. It's more of like a vinyl. It's not even.
It's not even a leather. Yeah.
Now, so we went to Italy as part of our honeymoon, and when we were in Venice, you go through all the real nice shit, and then you'd be outside a little bit, and it'd be the same fucking bag, and it's very illegal to sell that bag in Italy, and if you get caught buying it, they deport your ass instantaneously. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's the same fucking bag. That one was €1,000, and this one's €100, and the guy's like, and you get a free ice cream cone if you buy it. And I'm like,
sold.
Yeah, I was like, my fat ass said, yeah, and I'm like, and then
he's like, so we came back with a new bag.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of sticky ice cream in it. But that was one of the things is I was over there looking at stuff, and it's I have a friend that does Renaissance fair stuff, and so he does Scottish stuff and Renaissance stuff, and he was taking apart all the Louis Vuitton bags that were screwed up and then making new purses and bags and shit with them on top of his weird Renaissance fair pirate leather boot shit he was doing.
Nice.
And he's like, yeah, man, like people fucking can't get enough of it. And he's like, the material that I put in on top of the bag is way nicer than the shit I'm buying that's branded Louis Vuitton or Dolce & Gabbana or whatever. I don't know. Fucking, I'm too poor for all that shit. But yeah.
Yeah, it's the brand, man. It's all the brand. Because you can buy scraps, like Louis Vuitton scrap pieces on eBay and stuff. And like per square foot, like you're going to pay more for that than any other leather. And it's just because the brand of, it's got the brand on the branding on the leather. So yeah.
What's your favorite type of leather to work with?
Well, my tooling leather's all Herman oak, veg tan. Comes out of St. Louis, Missouri, from an old tannery. It's been open since over 100 years.
Nice.
And then I like some oil tan stuff for things that when I'm not gonna tool it. Oil tan. For the gloves right now, I'm using it's like a wax caramel. It's a nice. It's like soft but waterproof and like real durable.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of got like a waxy finish to it, so it's a really good leather. But yeah, I sort like all of my hardware I use, threads, everything's made in the U.S., cast in the U.S. All my leathers are tanned in the United States, so it's not only like made in the U.S. but like 100% sourced and everything. All my products,
right,
American made. So I kind of pride on that because it's hard to find that nowadays, but you're starting to see more companies that are getting back to it.
There's starting to be a revival of
that resurgence of American
of the small
made.
town, the craftsman, the artisan.
Yep.
Is making a bigger resurgence, and
I think people are wanting to support it too. For
a while, absolutely,
it's just like almost impossible to find, and now that there's some bigger companies, investors and stuff that are bringing it back, I think, and a lot of like up north and stuff where the old factories used to be and the old manufacturing, they're
bringing it back. Well, one of the things that Spanky's 50 and I'm 34 and you're 30. So a lot of people that were kind of in that age gap, I thought you were trying to flip me off for calling you old. So like a lot of people in that age gap, like my dad's 60, so he learned some of that stuff, and then you guys were getting more of like the stuff from Japan or Europe or stuff like that, or your guest jeans and all that. And then we were right on the tail end of like, we kind of like the old school shit, and like you're seeing all these guys building the choppers, and I see a lot more of our 30s and up to the 40s where they're starting to do all that hand tooling stuff again.
Well, like you mentioned Japan, so like no, our jeans are from U.S. Our jeans are not from Japan, because Japan. So when we bombed. We sent all this stuff over to rebuild, help them rebuild. Well, like Japan denim now is like the pinnacle of denim across the world, and it is like you'll pay $300, $400 for a pair of jeans.
I know,
because it's made on those old denim machines that they can't. The quality of it is impeccable compared to what we have now.
Yeah, with my 501 Levi's, they're always blowing a fucking crotch out.
I know. Yeah, no, Japan, they have some incredible craftsmen, and in any industry like denim, leather.
But they take their craftsmanship very seriously. It is not a hobby. It is a life, and you don't produce shit.
Yeah, and we're kind of like at a point where we have to bring it back now, where it's like it could be like a dying art that never gets passed down.
Yeah,
because it's like not only learning how to do the craft, but then work on the machines and run the machines, and because a lot of like when we sold everything overseas, they bought all the machinery too to go with it. They were like, we'll take it all.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
we're just going to go ahead and just do everything.
Well, you look at things nowadays, and it's like how many people, the level of people that know how to fish, that know how to hunt.
Hey.
No, I'm not. I mean, compared to
I grew up in the city, man. I didn't learn any of that shit.
Right. But what happens when shit hits the fan?
I will go get salmon out of the river with my bare hands.
Yeah, we'll see how that works. But even like you said, being able to fix a tractor, being able to fix car, do an oil change. that it's a lost art because people are like, well, I go through the 5-minute oil change, or
that shit drives me nuts.
That's how you rotate your wipers, and
100%.
your blinker fluid, and it's like, but trying to be able to fix things and actually just take care of yourself, take care of everything. It's like working on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like if you break down on the side of the road, I've ridden with people who are like,
I don't know what the fuck to do.
I've got my tool right here, and they hold up their credit card. That's the only tool I need. And it's like, well, and if you're in the middle of New Mexico,
Arizona, 30 miles outside of Gallup,
and it's like, how I hope that gets you where you need to be,
Well, and that's like, I grew up, so my dad was the last of 6 kids. His mom made it through the Depression. Like, I have the pair of shoes that she wore from the 50s until the 90s where she died. And like when the hole in the sole was going, she would just put Nora newspaper in it and all that stuff. And like, so he instilled that, like, you should be able to fix most of the shit in your house to an extent. Like your toaster, you probably can't get the part for it. But like, if your plumbing stops working, you should be able to fix it. You should be able to work on your cars. So like, I know how to do most stuff. I can, and out on the farm, I'm like, yeah, I can figure out hydraulics today. Fuck it, why not? But
yeah.
And then like, but that's the thing too, is I've gotten older. Like I used to buy all my shitty gloves, my leather work gloves from like Harbor Freight. And then now I've gotten older and where I'm like, I'm tired of buying gloves every time I do a project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I know I'm going to be hard as fuck on everything, but like it's also too, I don't want to replace my shit every time.
Well, and there's something to be said for quality versus, everybody. There's some people who are a glove is a glove is a glove. There's those gloves you fit in that you put on, and it's like,
it's your baseball glove that you've worked in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you doing baseball
where it's
gloves?
like, where
No.
No. It's like too complicated.
but it's like, no, it feels like, a second skin. It does. It's like, it's part of my hand.
Yep.
And versus where you put one on and it feels like you've got a boxing glove on and you're trying to grab something and it's like, I can't pick shit up. I can't do anything with it.
Yep.
And there's something to be said about that.
Yeah, and like with my if a stitch usually it's the stitching that fails in the glove you're gonna get now. But I mean the nylon thread I use now, it's like so good, and if it does bust, like you send it to me, I'm gonna fix it and send it back, and it's not gonna be an issue. But yeah, now it's like, if the pair you get from Ace Hardware or whatever, you don't even want to go through to figure out.
No, you throw them in the trash and you go get another pair.
Yeah. So and I enjoy building relationship too with my customers. Like I've had some customers, like I said, when I started like 8 years, they're still like, when people buy from me for a second, third, fourth time, it's like the greatest compliment you can get.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I built a lot of cool relationships over the years with people I never would have met or. Just over social media. Some of them I've never even met. It's just like
your homies on Instagram.
It is, the Instagram homies that we've just kept in contact, and hopefully I'll get to meet some of them one day. But we talk a lot still, just on social media. That's the cool part about it. And man, it's I think I put everything I got into like all the custom products too. That the orders I get, and the people appreciate that. I'll have like wives of guys that, they're big time, like CEO, president of this company.
Right,
they got a lot of money, but they'll like, wife will, I want to give him something special. He can buy himself whatever he wants, but he,
but he can't get what I'm about to order.
Like guitar strap or whatever. And
that's cool.
This last Christmas, this one wife, she bought her husband a guitar strap. He plays guitar as like a hobby, and she messaged me after, like, it brought him tears. Like when I gave it to him, I was like, damn, that's freaking awesome.
Like, did you record it for the channel?
Yeah.
I need to put this on my Instagram. Yeah.
It's like just that brings me joy. So it's like, that's my favorite part of it, is just making. I don't even make myself. I hardly ever make. I've made myself like a few things throughout the years.
They always say the shoe cobbler's shoe is the last to be repaired. So,
I feel that. Like, I don't even understand like why I don't, because I'm like that'd be like a walking billboard. Like I could show.
Right.
But I just don't like ever those like in-depth long projects. I never do for myself. I just enjoy doing it for other people, and it's. My kids got a lot of stuff though. They're always coming in like, "How this guy?"
I need a bracelet.
Yeah.
So what, like, currently of the products you have right now, what's your favorite thing that you've been working on or that you've made in the last like couple months or something like that?
I did some full hair on buffalo chaps for a guy in Lawton out by Mount Scott. So it was he brought me a full buffalo hide and I made chaps for him. They were all tooled out and fully they were wild. They were really cool.
That's awesome.
I've never seen buffalo hair like chaps before, so that was like a fun project.
That's awesome.
I got
Is
to
he,
do.
yeah.
What is he, for riding or for like bulls?
He
or-
does shooting competitions, gun shooting.
Oh, okay.
So he's like he travels all over the U.S. doing
Yeah,
it, man.
yeah.
He's good.
He does like cowboy competitions.
all over
yeah.
the U.S.
Does he have
yeah.
a kick-ass hat like did when he showed up?
Dude, he's got the everything, like all the he's got it all. He's got it all. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like a cop out there, and then on the SWAT team, and then he does this on the weekend. So he's all around badass dude.
Yeah,
so.
he's a walking like I'm a bad motherfucker.
Yeah,
Does he
he's-
have a wallet that says bad motherfucker on it?
Nah, but I made one of those.
Oh, dude, I
for
want
him.
one. I
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
One of my buddies had one and he pulled it out and put it on the table. I was like, "You're not the person to have that wallet," but it's really funny. Like, I was like, "Okay." So,
Yeah, man.
so do you make wallets and stuff now? Like,
Yeah, wallets and belts are probably the main
Yeah.
the thing I make most. Do a lot of gun cases and yeah, just about anything though. I mean, I do holsters and knife sheaths and
now for like a knife sheath, like, do you ask for measurements or do I send you the knife or how's it work?
yeah, if they're local, I'll like if it's for a fixed blade, I have to have the knife. But folders, I have like 2 different sizes, and if they give me the measurements and I know which one to do it. But fixed blades, I like to have the knife just so it fits like absolutely perfect for that knife. And but for pistols, I got like blue guns. It's just like a
Plastic gun.
mold.
Yeah,
and
like a
then-
fake gun.
So I don't need it.
Do you actually with your holsters? Do you actually like mold it to the so it's not like an open like?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
like
it's actually
molded
molded.
and fitted.
How do you mold it? I've always wondered.
Wet mold,
Okay.
and then you have like a bone slicker, it's called, and
Okay.
you just like slick around all
Just-
the edges real good and let it dry, and yeah.
Do not use hot water because it will shrink leather.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
pretty
ask
sure that's
me-
what I fucked up with my
Don't
gloves.
don't,
with.
don't ask me.
You're
how
just trying to clean them.
don't
Yeah,
ask
well,
me
okay.
how I know that.
So I have a clothing steamer thing. I used to, so when I used to
you steamed them,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, well, fucking, I don't know, man. I'm not. All right, here's the deal. I grew up poor as fuck, and I don't have money, but like I've gotten the allure of like where I look like I have some money. So I have some like nice suits, and I have some like nicer dress shirts and stuff. So when I used to work on like, I had a project I used to work on that was like a $500 million project. So I was like, I should dress nice for this meeting. So I got a clothing steamer, and like someone was like, oh yeah, you can clean leather with a clothing steamer and all that stuff. So I just fucking was like, barely touched the glove to it, and I was like, that will probably because they were stinking so bad.
Yeah.
Because I like we were talking about earlier, I sweat like a motherfucker, and like I just steamed it for like literally half a second. I just watched them go. I was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
Yeah.
So and
Yeah.
I threw them out because I didn't know what else to do with them.
Yeah, I made some keychains, and I was gonna stamp them, and it was like, it stamps better. Get the leather wet, and so I was like, oh, I'll just dunk it here, and I had some hot water, and it was like shrinky dink. Just watch it go whoop, and I was like, God damn it.
So do you do it with like cold water, or how do you do it?
No, just like room temperature.
Yeah,
With a sponge and just
Okay.
case it. They call it casing it, like when you wet it, and then I let it sit until it kind of returns back to its natural color, and I know it's ready to start tooling on.
Okay.
So you just kind of know like over time, like the feel you like to, because you carve it all first, carve the design in with a swivel knife. So you carve it all in, and then you use the bevelers and everything to bring the depth out, and backgrounders and all that. So yeah, you just kind of know when it's ready and when it's not. Like I said, I've been using the Herman Oak veg stand's my favorite, and been using that. So you just get the feel for it and know
It
when
really
it's
is.
ready.
It is an art.
Yeah,
yeah, no, it really is.
yeah, it's very awkward when you first start, and like it is, man. Like, and I forget how like weird it is, because I'll have people come in and like work with me sometimes and stuff that want to try it out, and yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot like how weird it is when you first start, because they just, even holding the swivel knife is strange and stuff, but it's just like second nature to me, man. I just like
Well, because you've been doing it for
every
a minute.
day, all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like just part of what I do now, and it feels like it's almost therapeutic now just to do it. You know, like I almost I cannot wait to get back when I'm away from the shop for a little bit. I'm itching to get back in there. And
You're like,
do
I'm
it.
going to go make keychains for you guys
Yeah.
right after I get done with this.
Yeah.
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 That's so like, okay. When you first started out, like, what did you buy a kit from like Hobby Lobby or?
No, I think it was Tandy Leather
Okay.
online. I just ordered it, and they shipped it to me.
God, they've got so much more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they what's fucked up is they don't have shit. Like
Oh,
you go
really?
in there. Well, I mean they do.
Is it the one
but-
that's over here that we went to?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's they've gotten better.
They've gotten better.
They've
but
gotten better past like 2-3 years, but I buy my leather. I
their
like
leather is
Springfield
expensive as
leather's
hell.
good out of Springfield, Missouri, and then locally my favorite place is Traditions Leathercraft. He's right down the road from Tandy, but he opened up probably 3 or 4 years ago, and he just bought out a huge leather store in Tulsa and moved all their stuff into his warehouse now. So he's got tons of stuff, and it's
Oh, nice.
So does
it's
he have like
family
the
owned,
tools and
everything.
Okay.
I'll have to check that out.
His dude, you have to Traditions Leathercraft. It's
Okay.
Okay.
it's just to the
I'm paying attention, but I'm
west.
also Googling.
It's just to the west of
Tandy.
Tandy.
Okay.
Just down the road off Reno, and he's just growing his selection more.
Yeah,
and more. And
yeah.
he's got so much stuff now. It's awesome. He's got one of the best
Oh, yeah.
leather selections around. It's really good.
So do you?
They
you-
got online too. You can look at their stuff on the website.
Do you usually like? So say I was like, man, I really want like this. I found a piece of leather I like. Could I bring it to you and then you could make something out of it, or do you usually? How's that work? What's your process like for that?
No, it's usually just I just use the leathers that I like.
sourced?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because and I've been collecting leather. Like, I mean, I got like a whole. Even if I like see a piece I don't need, or I just
I
just
know.
buy it.
You're like us.
You're
I'm
like,
like,
I,
I
might,
don't need
I
it.
might make something out of
Yeah,
that.
it may be 2 or 3. I got stuff that I've had for like 2-3 years, and then I'll finally be like, that would be perfect.
Do
for
you
this
have
project.
to store the leather? Do you have to hang it that a certain way?
I roll it up and
Okay.
then just keep it cool, dry place.
Okay.
You know, and it's good. Like the Herman Oak, I'm burning through that. That's stuff I buy the, whole roll. And
Do
I
they
go
just
through-
ship it down to you, or do you have to go up there and grab it?
No, either one. You
Okay.
can do. If I don't want to come to the city, that they can mail it to you. Or,
Okay.
But yeah, I'll usually just I go in there a lot, but then I spend more than I need to if I'm order. I always buy an extra roll.
You're like, oh fuck, I just really like that.
I'm like a
bejazzling.
leather addict, man. It's weird. You can get addicted to it. I feel like it's so.
No, it's true. You can.
It's so good. Yeah. Leather.
That's like so. When I started, when Cal was like, yeah, he does leather work, I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, I figured it was like a hobby thing, and then I was like, oh shit, he's really into
I'm in it, man. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I'm always just trying to get better and better and better, and push. I like to push on the artistic side. I'm always trying to push myself.
Yeah.
And like do some. I just want people to be like, when they see it, they're like, whoa, that's like that's
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
some dope shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a reaction I want. And
Have you ever done any like the show circuits or anything like that, or have you always just been working out? Like, do you work at your house? Do you have a
yeah,
shop?
I got a shop at the house.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm doing a build out there now. I got it's like 24 by 30.
nice.
Like shop that I'm building out now. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna have a really cool vibe when I'm done with it. I'm taking my time with it and like
Making it cool.
dude, it's gonna be
Yeah.
really cool for a small space. It's gonna. I put a lot of thought into it, and everything's really nice. Like the flooring, and I got a bathroom in there, and like it's got like herringbone, like herringbone stone flooring in the bathroom.
that's cool.
I
Damn.
got like
Yeah.
oak wood floors. And
Can't
then,
hide money.
yeah,
Can't
man.
hide. You can't hide
Yeah.
the money. Do you see what I did there?
Yeah.
Hide?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Had to.
I like it. I like it.
So is that going to be like your storefront, and that's going to be whenever you have somebody? So now they just kind of. Do you working out of your garage right now currently?
No,
or?
I started in my garage, and then now I'm in a room in my house. One of my rooms in the house, and then finally upgrading to get out of that. I'm gonna be out of the house and have, like I said, a storefront. I'll probably do that like 3 or 4 days a week where you can come in and I'll
check
have
it
some
out.
pre-made stuff. Check it out.
Nice.
May run some classes out of there, and
The class thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's the because like
I'll be down for that. So.
yeah.
cool,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be fun.
So my wife, she had, I don't remember what fucking purse it was, but she broke the strap to the purse, and I can do everything with zip ties. I've got
duct tape, zip tie.
yeah, and then so I was like, I can make you, and so I kept saying like, hey, whenever you find a little belt or see something, buy it, and then like whatever strip you want and all that stuff, it needs to be about the same size. And I'll put it together. And then she was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, it can't be that hard. I got all this shit out in the garage to make anything. And I was like, I don't have fuck for shit for leather stuff. I was like, I don't have the little cutting wheel thing. I could drill through it, and then I don't have any of the other shit.
You should have made her like
Yeah.
one of those Capri Sun shirts. Have you seen, remember those?
Yeah,
When people
yeah,
say
yeah,
like
lace 'em.
purses at a, you should have been like, babe, I got you a Capri Sun
Yeah.
strap.
Her dad got her
We,
this.
Weaver of a purse together out of the Target bags. Have you seen?
Yeah, dude. The Bath and Body Works ones.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
hey, well, just get an extra purse. Yes, her dad bought her like some. It was like a giraffe print purse thing, and I was like, what in the fuck? She had that for a little bit, and she loved the shit out of it, and then it kept falling apart. And I was like, I can't fix that. I promise you, that
Yeah.
looks way too nice for what I'm gonna do. Because like, my grandmother was a seamstress. She owned like a dry cleaning business when before I was born, and then my dad learned how to snip. So like he's like, oh yeah, I can do anything with a sewing machine, but then he doesn't really know what he's doing anymore because he's so far removed. I'm like, I don't know. I learned how to do it in like high school. I'm like, I can hand stitch some stuff very poorly, but
Yeah, that's what I started, all hand stitching. And then once I started getting more and more orders, I was like, yeah, we're going to have to
Get this
invest
figured
in a
out.
sewing machine. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I went to...
What do you got a Juki or?
No, I got a Cobra Class
Okay,
4.
okay.
Yeah, man, it's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking... It can
Yeah.
stitch to like 2 inches of leather.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
stacked up. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you stack
yeah.
like... Dude, it'll punch through. Like belt leather, like if you stack it up like 2 inches, it would pop right through it.
Yeah.
so like
no
you got to be. Have you stabbed your
Not
fingers
yet.
with? Oh,
Mm.
not yet. He was.
Nah.
He knew that question was coming.
Yeah,
out
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I've s-
close.
so-
too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm-
So my mom was a seamstress, and like they had a commercial business, and yeah, I've seen where like she hit her where it's stuck in the bone, and she's like with the needle sticking out.
yeah,
It's
it
like,
punch right
oopsies.
through it.
Yeah.
Like get the pliers. Like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so-
remember there was this chick in high school that used to like just sew like barely through the top layer of her skin and like run the thread through it, and I was like, oh, what the hell?
yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, I was like, ah,
Yeah.
fuck, man.
Yeah.
So I learned to sew when I was little. Like instead of going to daycare, because my mom used to teach sewing classes, and so I've sewn my whole life. I quilts and all kinds of bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's funny at how
He makes a great wife.
how much how much I've actually used that. Like you find you're like, oh yeah, I can sew that up,
Yeah.
and
For sure, man. Yeah, and like with leather, if you like want to get into like actually like a career, like if you're getting a lot of orders, you have to get a sewing machine. 'Cause
oh
it
yeah,
just
yeah.
takes you to-
The hand stitching, dude, I do that
That's
now because I don't do
time-consuming.
enough, and then my hands are all like
I used to do
fucking.
belts,
I'm like,
man,
oh,
like full
Oh,
belts.
yeah,
belts.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was pretty
Yeah.
quick at it, but like you said, yeah, the hands, man.
Yeah.
Around Christmas time, I was like carpal tunnel.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're like,
Like my fingers, you're just like, oh, fuck
don't
it.
let me hold the baby.
It
I'm
all
gonna drop
hurts.
it. Yeah. Like, what happened in your accident? And the hand thing is from work.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah, man. The sewing machine's awesome. I went to Prescott, Arizona is when I got that. I went out there for like a big leather convention and took like a couple classes for a weekend,
Right.
and I ended up buying one out there, and yeah, it's great. It's been the one I got's gone up like a little over $1,000 since I got it, so it's
Wow.
like, ain't
Yeah.
getting any cheaper.
No.
Yeah, they're nice.
the tools of the trade, though.
That's it, man.
The
yeah.
tools of the trade. So, does your wife ever ask you, like, hey, can you make me a purse or something?
Oh yeah.
All the time?
She knows I'm busy, but yeah,
She knows I'm busy.
She
Like comes in and she's like, oh, I'll wait.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, or I'll make something. She'll be like, "Oh my god, I would love to have one of those."
It's like the wife of a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
It's like,
Uh-huh.
it'd be cool to get a tattoo. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
babe, we're going on vacation, and I'm guest spotting at this tattoo studio.
Yeah. Right. So, have you done anything for any celebrities yet?
Trying to think. Nah,
It's like, have you ever heard of Garth Brooks?
Yeah. Whenever I first got started, I made like Cam Allen band. They're local.
Cam's cool. He's blowing up.
He's blowing up, man. I made all their guitar straps.
That's cool.
I made a couple of them, like two, like Cam's. I know he's got a couple from me, and then their lead guitarist, his got stolen. I made another one for him, and they got a custom guitar made not long ago. I made another one for his. That was really cool. I had like some Stingray leather on it.
Right.
Like it was sick. But so I made them for those guys. And then when I first got started, I was going to Chris Stapleton concert at the zoo, and I like made him one. And I like
throw it up on stage.
Dude, I did.
Yeah, is that what you did?
Right
Before,
I did, like the last song, man. I like right before he went off.
You hit him in the face.
It like
oh, shit.
It like landed like right at his feet. It was awesome. He like picked it. I saw him pick it up. He like showed his wife and stuff, and they walked off. I was like,
yeah,
cool.
He's a cool guy.
He touched it.
He touched it. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I bet.
We saw him up in Tulsa last year.
Yeah,
and there was like some people fighting down it, and he like stopped the concert. It was like, turn the lights on. Like, get these motherfuckers out of here. It's like he was just like, this ain't a time or place for it. Like, get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And then like, all right, let's get back at it. I was like,
I'm a big metal fan, so like every time I go to a concert, there's almost always one pit or fight. And I'm like,
right.
This is pretty much on par for the course. So. Yeah. That's cool, dude. Like, so do you have any big, like, what's your next, like, you're going to try to make hats? You're going to start trying to do the mass production for the gloves.
Yeah.
You're going to try to do, like, more mass production for, like, belts or anything, too, or?
No, I think I'm going to focus mainly just on the gloves right now. I'm like, full throttle with those. I'm enjoying it, and my roots, I grew up working in a machine shop all through high school, from, like, 15 to, like, when I started doing line work, and, so it's just kind of, I've grew up around blue collar guys, and just that's kind of my way. I'm gonna give back to that industry, and I'm enjoying it. So that's where I'm gonna focus on the gloves, and then just all my custom stuff, anything there, and continue. I will never stop doing the custom stuff, just because I love the artistic part of that. But we'll see where it goes. Just get my shop finished hopefully in a month or two.
Oh, you're like real close to being done with it.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully. That's always how it is.
I'm doing everything myself. The electrical, plumbing, build like pyramid steps.
So when the fuck do you sleep?
I don't sleep much.
He's like
or I'll stay up for like a couple days and sleep like 10 hours, and then
that's how I do it.
Yeah, whenever I'm in the flow, man, if I don't feel like sleeping, if I don't care if it's like 4 a.m., I just keep going. And then when I'm tired, I'll sleep. And I don't have a schedule. It's like when I'm feeling it and I'm in the zone, I'm staying there. I'm not going to bed.
Nice.
That's one of the. So I left working at firms and I opened up my own drafting stuff, and like that's the number one thing is everyone's like, "What's it like?" I'm like, it's really nice to be able to work at 2 o'clock in the morning and not have to be yelled at about it.
Yeah,
because like there's times where it's like you'll call or you might call and be like, "Hey man, can I come do this thing, or I need your help?" I'm like, "Yep, I'll be over there in like an hour."
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm out on my side quest for the day. Yeah. And I'm like, that's way more interesting than sitting down and figuring out how this shit flows downhill.
Yeah.
And then I'll get home and then I'll be like, it's 11 o'clock. Wife's gone to bed and tired of watching YouTube for a second, so I'll just start working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I have like gigantic stereo speakers in my office, and I'm like, I can't wake her up. Like my mailman's like, "Do you have a band?" I'm like, "Nope, I just have a really big stereo."
Yeah, man.
But it's nice to be able. I think that's one of the other things too. Is like I've seen a lot of people in our 30s right now where they're starting to get out of doing the corporate stuff and trying to get into doing that niche stuff, so they can.
Yep.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily the freedom because like a lot of people think, "Oh, you're just not doing anything all day." I'm like, yeah, there's lots of times where I'm not doing anything, but there's also the times where I'm like. Up till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
We went to Missouri to go ride bicycles on a bike camping trip last week, and I was up late as shit trying to get ready for a 2-day trip.
3-4 days before that.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, I'm off for the next week, and then I'm not gonna do shit.
Yeah, it's that's my favorite part about it, is just like being able to, if I want to work 40 hours straight, like just hammer down and then pass out for 12 hours, like I can do that. And my kids, they're homeschooled right now, so they're with me like a lot during the day. And
Is your wife a stay-at-home mom?
no, she's a hairstylist. So
Oh, cool.
She works
Oh,
at
nice.
a salon in Mustang, and then so we have a cool schedule. We're both self-employed, so it's it's got its perks. It's also got stressful times. You know,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
you never really shut it off. It's kind of even if you're not working, you're still like in
You're
your
still
head
working.
going
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
I'm like
yeah.
thinking about how the stitching the glove together and like
Yeah.
cutting this. Like it's like always going.
Your
on
son's
back
like,
and-
I threw my first home run today, and you're like,
yeah.
double stitch, triple stitch. I love it. Good job, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're always out somewhere looking at. Let me see how this is put together.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever
For
straight
sure.
up looked at like at some restaurant or something like, hey man, let me look at your belt real fast. I like that belt.
Yeah. I'll just like if I see like someone I'm talking to, I'll just tell them I do leather work. Like sometimes people, they'll buy like the stuff at Langston's and stuff and Shepler's, man. It's like pretty
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people will just be wearing like the nicest outfit, like real nice shirt, real nice jeans, and really like expensive boots, and their belt's just like
Shit.
busted. Yeah.
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 Like just
That's
like,
me. That is me over here.
And I mean, cool. I mean, who am I? But I'm like, dude, I can like get a chew belt that will match those boots.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, here's my card, by the way. Don't go out of the house looking like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
And,
you-
and
what-
it's just gonna last, because most of that stuff's gonna, they may.
Oh,
have
yeah,
it
I've been
2
through
or 3
so many
years, but
belts.
it's gonna fall
Well,
apart.
it's like I'll see things now where, like saddles.
Mhm.
Like before, it was like a saddle's a saddle, or like, oh, that's pretty. But like now, like I'll see some saddles and it's like, Jesus, the detail. Where I'm
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
at like the tooling on it and the craftsmanship, and it's like, in my mind, I'm thinking the hours, just like
yeah.
going up how many hours that took, and
Yep.
if it was either they rolled it out or if they hand tooled it, and actually getting up close and you're like, no, that was done by hand, and it's like, no, I understand why saddles cost so much, because
Yeah.
there's so many hours worth of craftsmanship into it, and just being able to appreciate it. But like you said, or seeing stuff out at Langston's and or other
Your Walmart
stores,
belts.
and
Yeah.
I was a Walmart belt man for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's all I
Just-
knew.
Like the floral design that you'll see on like Western floral design
Yeah.
on
Mhm.
belts, like,
that's rolled out
man, yeah, there's levels to
or
that.
stamped out.
That is like the true art form, is like learning like Western floral. There's like, I mean, I'm happy where I am right now, and I've came a long way, but there's guys that have been doing it like 30 years that you'll see their work and you're just like, shit, man, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah, it's like, but then there's that finding that balance between like time and like still being able to like get products out the door and not, because I mean, I could spend like
yeah.
a month on like one
Right, right,
product if
right.
I mean absolutely like have it like insane, but like you have to still continue to like move on and like like get products out the door. But I'll get stuck on stuff just like critiquing and going deeper with the design and like having layers to it where the scroll like
Right.
intersects and like wraps and like you can get, I just I like to get pretty crazy with it and push myself. And that's another part, is just like getting quicker with like actually making everything and like the production of it. It just comes with time, man. That's the only way for me anyways, is like I just got to keep doing it more and more,
Right,
more, and
right.
more,
It's
more and
repetition.
more. Yeah.
For the longest time, I used to always wear like stamped leather belts, and you had to have that Western floral, where they run it through, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, and get a name on the back of it or something, and
Uh-huh.
people, I can't remember your name,
Yeah.
and
I can't remember your name.
and then
It's for her Wait,
Yeah.
what?
and then I made like my first belt, which this has been, probably 12 years ago, and it was like just the raw leather, and actually wore it raw and like let it age and patina and turn
Yeah.
on its own, and it was like okay, that's kind of cool, you know, where it gets
yeah.
that, you know, and not dyeing it.
Darkened
not,
edges.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, and then you see like that versus like, oh, that's what they're trying to recreate.
Yeah,
you
like
know, and
plastic leather.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah.
super shitty quality.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
the top peels off because it's not leather.
Yeah, and there's like a cotton.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, fabric
in
kind of
between.
shit.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And when you do like get like your first handmade piece, I feel like it kind of puts you on like a whole nother path of like what you take as like quality.
I know.
If
this
you're
is-
not-
this is gonna be the worst for me. I'm like, oh, by the way, I have leather made everything. Yeah.
Well, even stuff
good.
I've bought stuff. I bought leather belts off the shelf that I took apart because I just wanted, like, I've got one that's black, you know, and I was like, because all mine are like a brown. I was like, well, I wanted black leather, and I just wanted like a plain black belt, and so I found one and like, you know, cut it off, put my belt buckle on, put, you know, and stitched it back up, and you know, it's like, okay, it's fine,
Yeah.
but yeah, trying to find it where it's not, where it's actually real leather, though, you know, going through it.
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
genuine.
Yeah, that doesn't mean
Yeah.
shit. That's like
Yeah.
made in the USA, or you know, assembled in the USA.
Yeah, that's my
as
favorite
the-
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Mexican like leather, it's like definitely a quality difference. Like usually it'll be, I mean, you can see in their cattle too. I mean, like I don't know if y'all been
yeah.
to Mexico, but
Yeah.
from like the airport to the resort, like the cattle are just like the leather's more scarred up.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
just tougher, and the cows, they're just not, they're a little skinnier,
Mhm.
and like
Yeah.
the terrain's just tougher, and they gotta live in you know, a lot of thorns and shit, so they're getting
Yeah.
cut up.
Yeah.
And the leather's scarred, and it's just not I don't know the tanning. I'm sure it has to do with the tanning process too, but yeah, like Italian leathers are really good, and we have really
Yeah.
good tanneries. We have some left still, thankfully, in the U.S. Hopefully, I think the leather industry's kind of on the return in the U.S., so I
yeah,
don't think those tanneries will have a problem staying open. The ones
No,
that have
I-
survived. But
Because like I do see a lot of people getting back into the leather goods because it's just more longevity of that, like how
Yeah.
long it's gonna last.
yeah, I mean, it's been a part of civilization forever.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
the use of leather. And
Yeah.
I talked to a lot of old timers, like that used to be a class that they had in high school, and they
Yep.
all used to.
well,
they used to
how you
take
used
it.
to brain tan leather, you know, and like
Yeah.
even when you'd go out hunting, you know, for deer or whatever, you know, it's like you cape it out, you'd brain tan it, you know, doing all that stuff.
Yep.
You know, where now it's like either chemical, and they're like, you can tell a difference in
Yeah.
just the softness, the way it turns out.
Yep.
And there's another guy I follow on Instagram that he's been living off grid, lives in a teepee out in Oregon, like Montana, Wyoming. He's got a couple horses, but he like lives just out on the and he actually has like leather clothes that he's made, and
Nice.
like
Damn.
he'll smoke them. Like he had them where he was showing where it's like, you know, he's smoking it to get it this like yellow.
I think I
What?
saw his stuff. Does he have long hair? brown
Yeah,
hair?
yeah.
I would
and-
assume if he's living off grid, he's got long hair.
Yeah, he's
but he lives off like eats
his teepee's sweet.
his teepee
man.
is sweet, and he'll like tell you about it. Like, yeah, I had to insulate it with like the inside's insulated with blankets, and
Uh-huh.
like this is how I live, and this is what I do. And he's like, he travels through like national park land, and he's
Uh-huh.
like, I can stay so many days here, and
Yeah.
he's got a dog, 2 horses, and a mule. And he gets people that'll let him live on their land, and he's like,
So
yeah.
his teepee's like mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not
Yeah.
like at a base camp and he's going.
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he moves with the seasons.
He moves
too.
with the seasons,
Yeah.
but lives off the land. Like, he has some, I think, that he farms, but he tries to do everything like,
Yeah.
like they did back in
Gatherer, I think.
150 years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah,
Mhm.
That's
and
wild.
So yeah,
We
it,
need to get
it
that
really,
guy as a guest.
yeah. Good luck.
Dude.
We'll have to go. We'll have to go make a trip.
Yeah, we have to bring
Yeah,
a
I wanna-
generator.
I wanna
Yeah.
see you guys.
Yeah,
see
you're
this
gonna go-
TP.
yeah. But it's cool because he was like talking about like the leather, and like he's made a pair of pants and had them for like 4 years, and then they wear out. Usually it's like in the crotch or the thighs.
Yeah,
from
the
riding
crotch
on
is always
horse.
where I wear my pants out
Yeah,
at.
but and he talks.
it's not from having a huge dick either.
Right.
Yeah.
But he talked about like the different leather, like you use the rougher, like the more where it gets a lot more use because it holds up better and
like
just different things.
rough
Like, yeah, and it's pretty cool. Like he was doing a whole where he was like stitching them up. He's like, yeah, I got to make a new pair, and
Gotta make
you
new
know.
pants today.
yeah,
And it's
and
captivating
he
too.
had like people that would bring him hides, and he would
That's
like
cool.
tan them out and do everything.
Yeah.
And,
He made
it's cool.
like a hoodie. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. He
He
did.
has
He made a hoodie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was sick.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's
A leather hoodie would be pretty baller.
It's,
Yeah.
it's sweet.
He's
Yeah.
got a hat that he had like beat it up. And
Yeah, have you ever made a hat
Yeah.
before?
No, I just do like hat patches.
Okay.
But I've never done like a full hat.
Yeah, I was wondering because I was like, I not that I probably would wear it. I'd probably have it because I fuck up every hat. I either lose every hat or I fuck them up.
Yeah,
But I was like, it would be kind of cool to have a leather
a
hat.
leather hat would be sweet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we would love to have you back on again.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna let you finish your shop,
okay,
and then we're gonna
yes.
come back out in a couple months,
dude. Let's do it.
And
Yeah.
then we could record down there
Absolutely.
even.
If y'all would want to bring it down, man, y'all are more than welcome. I want y'all to come check it out, though. Yeah, when
Yeah,
it's
I wanna
finished
come
up.
check
It's
out-
gonna be cool, man. I put a lot of thought into it, and
absolutely,
yeah,
I'd
want
love to see that.
It's gonna be
Like
a
if you
vibe.
start doing any classes or stuff, I'm
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
down for that. That'd be cool
man.
as shit.
Yeah, I plan on it. So
And
it's,
then
it's gonna be a good time.
And I can finally get better keychain stuff made.
Yep.
What he's been giving me for free for a while. No, I love your
Yeah.
keychains, buddy.
Keyword there. You got it for free,
I know.
bitch.
Yeah, man. Those are sweet. I
Like
those.
legit, I'll be like, "Hey man, when I bought my KZ, I was like, hey, I need another one of those," and he was like,
Yeah.
"Fucking okay." So,
Yeah.
well, okay. So where can our listeners find you on the worldwide webs?
Just it's Macke on Instagram, Macke Leatherworks Co. And then Facebook, Macke Leatherworks.
Okay,
And I'll have a website up soon.
I was wondering if you had one or not.
It'll be a month or two when I get my shop done. That's on the horizon. So
Are you on Etsy or anything like that either?
no,
Just all directly through Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Cool.
yep.
Well,
So,
good deal. Well, thanks you for coming out.
Yeah, man. Thank
We're
you
glad
guys
that
for
you're
having
still here with us. I'm glad that
me. I
you're
know.
still
Yeah,
able to ride and
Yep.
you found a new venture in life, and it's been very prosperous and
Yeah.
fruitful, and you have a whole family and everything now. So
Yeah, man. Life's good.
yeah, and
So-
now you just gotta have all these kids in there working in that sweatshop.
Yes.
All right.
It's a plan.
Homeschool. This is a hammer.
Yep.
Yeah, when you said
Yeah.
homeschool,
What-
I was like, well, sounds like my childhood.
110 won't kill you. It makes you
No.
stronger.
That's right. Stay away from 240.
240 will hurt.
110s.
Yeah.
Pussies.
All right, bye guys. We'll see you next
See.
time.
All right,
hold on.
bye.
Is the music there?
No.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Ah, shut up. All right, bye guys.
See